everybody. I am so excited to bring to you today Labyrinth Through Time, and I have been waiting to unveil this for you. Now, I have named it Labyrinth Through Time because labyrinth in our spiritual world means journey to the center of self, and this is all about unlocking your destiny. This is the booklet that comes with it, and it is a very extensive booklet with lots of images, meanings, and so on. And I've made it in the most simple possible form that even if you have never picked up a divination tool in your life, you can certainly do it all with Labyrinth Through Time. So, what's in the tin? In the tin, now, I'll just explain. This is a screw lid tin, and I've made it a screw lid tin so that all your goodies in here won't drop out, and there's a bit more about it there, won't drop out of your tin. So, what's in our tin? We have a 12-sided dice. We have an amethyst pendulum. And I've chosen amethyst specifically because it's one of the best protection tools when we do mediumship, which you can do with this kit for spiritual hitchhikers. We have our cards, and our cards, we're getting to the good stuff. Our cards, we have 25 image cards and we have 11 word cards. So they are used for different things, and we'll go into that. And it comes in a little bag with your locks and your keys. In the tin, we have this amazing stretchy spandex, fully washable and reversible casting mat. And this is the labyrinth where we do all the work from. Now, this here is my 50 charm kit, and I've made the charm kit only as an optional extra because there is a lot of people who already have a charm kit. So it's completely up to you whether you purchase charms, but with this system you do need some charms. So that's just my 50 charm kit, and I've just kept them loose in the bottom of this because this is like a travel kit. I can just have everything in its one box, and that's what we do. So how do we use our Labyrinth Through Time? You will notice there's symbols all around here. There's 25 symbols in total on the front side of this, on the alphabet side. We start in our center because the key means what is it we are unlocking. So it does mean we start from the center. We do 2 lots of charm casting, and the first ones we do on our clock, the second one we do on our outer 2 rings. So we start from here. Now I'll just touch on briefly. The numbers here are timing, so it does mean if we had a reading and we're talking about our young lady looking for love and she said, what's happening for me in the next 12 months? I could use these as 3 days. If she has something land here, tell me 3 days is something pivotal. So is 3 weeks, so is 3 months. And they are just moments where something can happen, that a conversation she may hear. It could be something in a random phone call, a connection. But the numbers are often very pivotal moments in time. If she had said, what's happening in my love life in the next 3 months, and she got landed on 3 here, we would then say the next pivotal moment is 3 days and the 3rd week from now, because she's given us our time frame of only 3 months. Whereas if she's given it for 12 months, we can go right through to the 12. We start by laying 1 charm only in the center. The other thing to always remember, alphabets are the person, place, or thing. In tea reading, in traditional cups, if we see a letter that comes in a cup, we always look at it as a person, place, or thing. So if she has a charm land on the letter D here, it could literally be someone with a name beginning with D. So it could be a David, it could be a Doreen. It just means something pivotal around that letter. It could even be a place where she may go, like Devonport City and so on. They are just things. The D could be even a dog, for instance. So it doesn't matter. They are, like I said, person, place or thing. The other important thing to always remember, any symbol that is on the mat is the topic or the subject matter of that symbol. So for instance, landing here, that is money. So what we lay on that describes the situation around money. If it lands on the house, we describe the situation around the home and the family. So the mat is always what's the topic, subject matter. The charms laid on it are the descriptions. So we'll start by going into our first casting. So we would then go through and read chair over pipe, cherries over telephone, the anchor over the rose, the scales over the number 11, and the little mouse here is on top of the lady plus the 12. So if she's this lady and we're looking about love, we would then read, and I always start at the top and go around. So the mouse here on top of her head and also the number 12 there tells me she's really, really stressed. She's quite anxious about will she find love in the next 12 months. Here she has the pipe and the little chair. The chair is often where she sits down. She's in a place of comfort. Sitting on the pipe there would tell me likely there is a good older male that may enter her life who is ready to sit by her side. Now, it doesn't mean older male as in sugar daddy. I know, you laugh. The male there can be just a very pivotal person in her meeting the Mr. Right. We then move around. She's got telephone, so it tells us she needs to communicate and start to express things a lot more. And we've got the cherries. Cherries is good. It means good things come out of this conversation, great opportunities and sweet things in life. We also have here the anchor, and the anchor here is near the rose but also the key, which tells me again many doors that open around stability but also with passion. We've got the scales sitting on the number 11, and the scales is about the balance, the equality that's going on in her life. And the 11 would still tell me 11 days, 11 weeks, up to 11 months. There's something that needs leveling out that will help her find Mr. Right. We then go to our second stack. So then we are going a couple more. You can do a couple of scatters. I always say less is better because of the depth that you gain and the layers that we are doing. So she's got the ring here on the D. Like I said, commitment around the letter D. And it may be literally a man called David she may meet who may commit to her. We then got mermaid over mirror, pram over the castle, lion over cherries, hourglass over heart. She's got the key here, not really touching anything, but it tends to be closer to these two, so you would read these two. And our bat is sitting on the outside of the circle, but because his ring's still here, I would say count that and read the letter T with it. So you would read all those in their layers. Now you're saying, what is the word cards and the picture cards about? We use the picture cards for any extra information that you are looking for. Like for instance, here we see the mouse on her and that's troubling to her. So we'd look at that and say, okay, how do we can ask a different question. How do we work or deal with the anxiety belly that this young lady's having? We've got the rose, which tells me again she needs to look at the passion, but it's also see the beauty in herself. And we've got the heart. So there would tell me literally this lady has a beautiful heart, but yet she's feeling so stressed and anxious by this. So we can then also layer over those two cards again. There would tell me she's got good loyal friends, and again, rose and dog would tell me a beautiful friend that she has, and it's probably someone she's had for quite some time, will help her in the love path and also help alleviate the stress and the pressure. So we can use our image cards in any section we choose. You may look at it here. We've got the teacups, which means good socialization. We've got the fish, which is a beautiful sign of abundant friends. Again, we can ask the questions here. The medicine here would tell me good friends, though, that help her well-being. The car there also would tell me she's got good friends trying to push her forward. So they are how you can use your image cards, and you can layer them anywhere and everywhere. Our word cards, we have hopes and fears, pros and cons, a do this and a don't do this. It's actually common. We have then 3 months, 6 months, 12. Then we've got what is hidden and further advice. So we can use those anywhere we see fit. You may want to have a look at them and say, okay, we've got the mirror and the mermaid, where she may be a little frightened of seeing things, or is she seeing things in the true light that they are? So we can actually look at her hopes in that area and her fears in that area. We can use charms. Again, we'd place a couple on there. The hopes there, she's got the dragon, which tells me again she needs to see more than just what is in her imagination. Her fears here, she's got the question mark, which tells me she still feels really confused. Again, we can draw more charms, or we can draw a card. So why is she so afraid? There would have told me she's had a friendship or somebody that's instilled this fear in her, which is not too good. So when we have got a question like that, we can then even use the cards as we like outside of your circle, and it doesn't really matter, or we can layer charms. So this reading can grow as big and as layered by exhausting every bit of tool that you have, or you can stop it there if you feel that is ready to close. So this is how you would do a predictive reading in our Labyrinth Through Time. Now, a nutshell version, what we have our purple dice for. Our dice is a 12-sided dice, and dice we use as a timing tool. We can look at our dice, and again, you can throw this as many times as you see fit. We may look at this and say, well, when is this young lady going to get past this anxiety that she has? We've got 10, so it would tell me again, 10 days, there's something important. 10 weeks, there is also something important. Up to 10 months. Now that is a very slow time frame that this lady, we don't want her feeling anxious like that for that length of time. So we would then again ask our charms or our cards, how can we improve this time? And again, I would only draw a couple of cards. And there we've got the bat and the telephone. And the bat and the telephone there would tell me, start instigating conversations that she can feel where she feels more confident in. And you can use this timing again on any area that you like. The pendulum we are using when we are going into mediumship. Now I'm going to, it's not a whole course on it, but I will touch briefly on how we would use this as mediumship tools. Just keep that there, and my word cards. Now, when we are looking for mediumship, it's in the book, but the very first thing is you must be in the right zone, and you must also be ready that spirits are not always there just because we want them to be. It's a bit like we can't turn the light switch on if they don't want to be there. But you're using your pendulum, and there is in the booklet how to use and work out your yeses, your nos and maybes and so on in the booklet, so I won't go through into that. But your mediumship, we start in the center, and you would start with your pendulum working out, is there a spirit here, yes or no? If you are getting a yes, we are then going to the lady and saying, are you female, are you male? and we will work it out. So if it said I'm a female, we'd say, okay, is she a mature age female or is she a young female? And then we look at it. And if you've lost more than one or two people in spirit as females, we would then look at it and say, okay, she's female, she's an older lady. Is she a family or is she a friend? So we would then go to the house. Is this somebody that's in the family? Is it somebody that you've worked with? Is it a friend? You can either use dog or teacup. Is it somebody in a friendship circle? Is this somebody you've lost that you love, and not just say a work colleague where they pass your thoughts? So we go through the process of elimination first. We then, if we think we know which spirit it is, we then go to the letters of the alphabet. So we could go to the letter A and say, is that you, Alice? And we would use our pendulum, yes or no. Is that you, Henrietta? Yes or no. And it gives you the confirmation of who the spirit is. We then go into the reading the exact same way I did earlier, by casting first on our inner circle, then our outer circle, and we can use all our cards, the image cards and the words, all about what message does Spirit want you to know. So that is dealing with our alphabet side. Dealing with our other side, this here is what I call my life coaching wheel, and on your booklet page 36, 37, it is all about the coaching wheel, where I've put in all the questions for all these sections. Now this is great if you are wanting just a general read, and there's two ways you can do it. You would either go scatter, scatter, scatter and see where they land, but you may end up with lots of empty patches. Or you would go through your charms and choose 2 or 3 for each section. But your first thing is start in the sun, because the sun is, what is it that makes you happy? So there, if I put the frog in the center of that, of what makes it happy, frog means change, but it means fast changes and constant change. It couldn't be more fitting for me. I'd look at that and say, ants in my pants. So you would always start in your centre, and then you would go through and draw a couple of charms all the way around. And even by doing so with that, and it doesn't matter where you go, there's no rhyme or reason, you can just put them anywhere. So, and again, we can use our pendulum, and we also use our dice for timing, and we can also bring in our image cards and our word cards. So another one there, we'll just put another one there. So for instance, I'll just grab this section here. Leisure and social life, same young lady that we've read about her love life before. She's got here baby, which is something new that brings joy, and she's got anchor. So here it would tell me she's got new friends that are coming in, and she's also got some really lovely older friends that she has. And if we want to enhance on that conversation, we can then again use the word cards. So what is it in the friendships that make her happy? So the sun is beautiful, so it does tell me she's got some really lovely people around her. And there would tell me again, people that help her through life, they're the push, the juice of life. That's really, really lovely. So there's really nothing negative this young lady has around her friendships, which is great. You've got, again, your word cards. You can put those anywhere that you like. For instance, here, career and business, she's got the chair and she's got the cherries. Cherries is actually about, like I said, cherries here, new opportunities. And when I see that on career or business, to me, I'd look at that and say, there's a job opportunity coming up for you. You have the chair here, which tells me something that you have been waiting for a little while, but it may mean here is your chance to step out of the comfort zone into something good. So this is where we can layer more charms, or we use our word cards. The lady here would tell me this is definitely you, and it can be a pivotal lady that may be very helpful for you in going forward in your career. We've got the angel wings. Couldn't get better card if you tried, because it would tell me this is really your calling, something else that is really bringing about positive light for you. We can then use these and we can say, okay, what is it does she need to look out for and how will we deal with it? So again, what is hidden? Karin there would tell me she must be aware of a new job that may not have the support systems in place. So that is something she must be very aware of. So how does she deal with that? We would look at further advice. We've got the tunnel, which means she needs to look at the long-term goals of where she's heading. These to me tell me this is a good move for her if she chooses to leave the current role and where she's going. We can use our dice again as our timings, and we've got number 6, so it would tell me do something up to its max time around the 6 months. That's really good. Again, you can use your pendulums, yes or no's, any area that you see fit. Is it a good time for her to move? Look at that, yes or no. So that is your Labyrinth Through Time in a very cramped nutshell version. But when you purchase this system, you receive a 72-page book, which is big, and I have written it in such a way that you could have this system if you've never picked up a divination tool ever in your life, and you will be able to read and understand it. And I've put it through very rigorous testing and proofreading and so on, and how you all fit it. I'll show you this again. I fold, I go 4, and then I go 3. And like I've just got my charm sitting in the bottom of that. You may have a huge big charm kit. The charm kit is optional extra because I've allowed it for a lot of people who have already charm kits, and everything just fits back into the box. So I'm putting all of the cards back together, and I love it because it is a one-stop shop with everything that goes back into your tin of goodies and your dice. Your pendulum, by the way, is on a chain as a necklace if you choose to wear it. They are chosen at random, but they are all amethyst. And like I said, I chose amethyst for the very reason of protection. And that is your Labyrinth Through Time, Unlocking Your Destiny. And it's in a beautiful pale gold tin. And that tells you a little bit about it. So let's turn the key and unlock your destiny. Thanks for listening.